What is up, all of my horror fanatics out there? Welcome back to Late Night Frights. I'm the Late Night Frights horror leader, the J. Sloan or Jordan, back here to do another video for you. And as always, guys, I want to thank everyone for tuning in this evening. Last week we did horror battles, and if you haven't checked that out yet, please go do so. It was a great week all around. And as you know, this week we are doing a theme, and I'm sure you already know what it is because of everyone's videos previous to mine this week. We are doing another top 10 list, our top 10 favorite zombie films of all time. These top 10 lists are very fun, and that's why we've been doing them, and we have a bunch more planned. So if you like these, stay tuned because there's more to come. So yeah, before I dive into my top 10 favorite zombie films, and I want to add that it was very difficult because I love zombies, and zombie subgenre in horror is one of my favorites. So it was really hard to narrow it down to 10. But before I go, I just want to thank Mike for trading days with me on Monday. Saturday's not my day, but I had to do it today because I was not home Monday and I had no way of filming my video. And as you can tell, I'm not home today. I'm actually at my sister's house, but I have a way now to film my video if I'm here. So that's why I'm able to do my video today. So thank you again, Mike, for trading days with me. So, yeah, without further ado, let's dive in with my top 10 favorite zombie films of all time. I'm going to be going from least to greatest, 10 to 1. Let's start. Okay, coming in at number 10, my least favorite on this list, but it did make the top 10 list, is the Dawn of the Dead remake from 2003, I believe. I could be wrong. I'm not going to talk too much about this remake. I enjoyed it for what it was. It was very different than the original in a lot of ways, and it kept a lot of the same feeling as the original in many ways as well. It implemented a lot of things with the mall, which I'm glad they didn't take out, because the mall for the original, for me, is like one of the best parts about the original film. The mall itself was like a living, breathing creature in that movie. It made the film in a lot of ways for me, as well as the characters did, and I'll talk about the original later on down this list. But the remake, it did what it did, and it changed a lot of things, but it stayed true to a lot as well, and that's what I liked about it. It implemented running zombies in a good way. Running zombies are not my favorite. They're alright, but it implemented that, being in the early 2000s, and, you'd had some other films try to do that with infection films and running zombies. Zombies changed a lot from, the 70s and 80s. Yeah, so Dawn of the Dead, the remake, good remake, not the best, but definitely a better remake, because as we know, remakes tend to not be very good, but this one was enjoyable. So coming in at number 10 is the Dawn of the Dead remake. Okay, coming in at number 9 is a zombie comedy, one of the better ones. There's just one more that I like a little bit more, and we'll talk about that here in a minute. But this zombie comedy is Zombieland. Love this movie, starring Woody Harrelson, Jesse Eisenberg, and Emma Stone. Woody Harrelson's one of my favorite actors of all time anyway, and seeing him in this film was just really funny, seeing him as Tallahassee. And it added a new... It was different, I mean, it had running zombies in it, of course, but it was cool seeing these characters come together in these awkward situations, and how awkward they actually are apart from each other. I mean, Jesse Eisenberg is the weirdest character in the world, one of the few people you would think that he would be dead early on in the apocalypse, but somehow he survived. It's just cool. Love the zombies. The zombie kills are pretty badass too. The amusement park scene is really awesome, and I've always liked this one since I saw it in theaters. So coming in at number 9 is, of course, Zombieland. Okay, coming in at number 8 is another zombie comedy, and it is Shaun of the Dead, one of the best ones in my opinion, starring Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, two actors who work brilliantly and play great off of each other. You can definitely tell their real friendships seeps into their acting, and it works really well. I love the story in this one. Guy cannot commit to his relationship, can't really commit to anything in life, and the zombie apocalypse happens, and he kind of has to step up, and all the comedy that ensues between this movie, having his friendship, Simon Pegg's friendship with Nick Frost, slowly go down the drain throughout the movie, and he says, you know what, he's been holding me back all these years, when really friendship's all you got in the end. Friendship, relationship, and family, that's what you have in the end, and I love that. It adds comedy in brilliantly in the film, as well as great zombie kills and everything like that. So Shaun of the Dead comes in at number 8. Okay, coming in at number 7 is a classic, guys. I love this movie. This is another one that kind of mixes comedy along with the horror, and I think a lot of zombie films do that because zombies in itself, it's like zombies and aliens and ghosts and, you know, that type of thing is more... It's a more unbelievable and unimaginable scenario and situation than a guy picking up a knife. I mean, it seems like it's out of this world and impossible, and that's why a lot of these films mix comedy with it. And this is just a classic, guys, and it is Night of the Creeps. So many great lines, great actors. Tom Atkins in here does a fantastic job. Jason Lively, I believe is his name, who was also Rusty in I think it was European Vacation that he played Rusty. He's been in a lot of other films. Good actors in this one, and just the comedy, the lines, and the badass kills. That's something a lot of these zombie films seem to do right all the way around. Even if the acting's not extremely on par and the story's not fantastic, the effects and kills are awesome. So, but great acting. Tom Atkins does an amazing job in this movie. And yeah, Night of the Creeps, one of the best zombie films of all time. Obviously, one of my personal favorites, or it wouldn't be on this list. So that was number 7, Night of the Creeps. Okay, coming in at number 6 is probably one of the most serious zombie films on this list, and it's not your average zombie film. It's not your classic George A. Romero, Night of the Living Dead type styled zombies who eat flesh. This is a little bit more serious and based on true events, so that's what makes it even cooler. And it is one of Wes Craven's most underrated films, in my opinion. It is The Serpent and the Rainbow. I had to add it because technically it is a zombie film, and it is one of my favorites. I love the story. You know, Bill Pullman in this does an amazing job trying to find out the ancient voodoo drug they use to create zombies, to bring people back from the dead, and they are pretty much mindless people. And it's a lot of things in this are very terrifying, and one scene specifically with Bill Pullman's really, really crazy. Well, 2 scenes, something happens to him that's really fucked up in this movie. I won't spoil it, but I just loved it. I loved the direction, I loved everything about it, the setting in Haiti, and finding, you know, this guy trying to find out what it is, like what's this drug, how can they bring people back to life, is it real, is it fake, and his attempt to try and, you know, stop this. And it starts out about money, and it starts out about trying to you know, be famous, and then it kind of leads into a personal vendetta of trying to find out who's doing this. When he finds out who's doing this, how can he stop this person? So really awesome, and I love The Serpent and the Rainbow, and that's why it comes in at number 6. Okay, coming in at number